All right, as long as they're not some sort of designer bottle, which you can use bottles for good things. Tanya Collins is here, fall design trends, and we're talking about the trends that are starting out, and you've got some good tips here. Things are in flux. We are changing as we head into fall.
Yes, we are. Well, for instance, the big thing that's coming out is that we're moving more towards the honey-toned woods, as opposed to all the espresso that you've seen, the dark hardwood floors. So there's a movement back, and actually I brought a shelter mag here. This is House Beautiful, and you can sort of see the example. You know, you've got the honey hardwood floors, and even the hides have sort of more of the amber tones as opposed to the blacks and the dark
So
colors.
we're starting to get almost into a really warm country feel, like a wilderness feel, or?
I don't know about if it's country. I think you can make any wood tone work depending on the style you're working with. I think it's just, you know, you're seeing a lot of mid-century furniture as well, which is typically the walnuts. They're the lighter, medium-toned woods as opposed to the really dark woods.
What about in interior design? We're seeing animal prints.
I totally love it. So, of course, animal hides. You always hear, you know, the fall is coming. You want to bring more warmer textures in. The animal hides, leopard especially, is big. You can do this in carpet. You can do it in a cushion if you're a little bit not as bold on your carpet.
Even less bold than a cushion, I would even do if you can find a printed throw.
Absolutely.
That's good too.
Yes, and so as you can see, you know, all the leopards, leathers, furs, those are all the things that I would encourage people to bring in anyways. It's really not a trend, but it's as it gets colder out, you want something warmer.
It does seem a little masculine to see these animal prints, these warmer woods. Men love wood and the wood grain, right? Don't we? Don't we?
Yes, they do. They would never paint wood.
That's true. All right, so here we are with golds. That's another trend we're looking for.
Really the warm metallics, whether it's brass, gold, copper, these are sort of making more of a resurgence. I mean, this has been in the works for a little while now.
Well, we had to go somewhere because it was silver for so long, right?
Yes, and so, you know, little ways to bring in gold, whether they're through little accessories like little starburst mirrors, even just a book, like a coffee table book is a way to bring in color. Same thing with your hardware. I love these fabulous ring pulls. You can change that up on your hardware. Even if you want to incorporate a couple trends like the leopard, I mean, even in the leopard amber tone, that's a gold tone. So you kind of
this is a wallpaper.
That's a wallpaper.
Would you do, I would do an accent wall, perhaps?
Well, an accent wall, maybe a powder room, perhaps, but I probably wouldn't do a whole room in that. No.
So for a long time in design, more is what everybody was saying, and now are we getting away from that?
More is more. I think people overall are, you know, adding these injections of items, but they're doing it in a more pared back way, cleaner lines, and a little bit more sparingly.
And are we seeing more worldly accents?
Yes, so I brought a couple examples, definitely bringing in some things that give a little character to the space or a little spice. You can say this is an Indian tablecloth, but even sort of some of the Indian textiles. This is a Moroccan pouf. Of course, the pink, it doesn't really connotate a fall type of color.
But the idea, we get the idea.
But the concept, and those are things that you can bring in. I think I even have an example here. In terms of, you know, just bringing in exotic elements, you know, even with the leopard, it gets a lot more exotic and bold. And we have also the color of the year is supposed to be turquoise. So
that's that right? Turquoise.
Turquoise. I mean, they even talked about at one point. I mean, it changes all the time.
So look out for that somewhere within that spectrum, right?
Yes, and I think we need to remember that with trends, if they resonate with you, if the color of the year is turquoise, or if it's purple or pink or whatever it is, if you love that color, bring it into your house. If you're not,
it's okay to skip a trend. It's okay.
Absolutely.
And don't get overwhelmed. This is a bunch of ideas for accent pieces.
Right.
Because this might look like a bit much.
Absolutely.
Because it's all,
yes.
well, it's just because you brought a lot of stuff for us to look at, but remember, these are small points in your room.
Absolutely, because it can look a little jumbled, obviously, with all this here.
But that's what we do in TV. We have a whole bunch of stuff so we can show it, but I like the idea of bringing some of these things in sparingly, or if you're a little braver, bring it in too. Or just call you, TanyaCollinsDesign.com. That's where you find her. So very cool. Thanks very much for getting me up to speed on the fall trends.
You're welcome.
Turquoise. It's in here now. All right. Thanks very much.